Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the New Jersey Titans Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Tom Willms, and alongside me, of course, is the head coach and GM of the New Jersey Titans, Craig Doremus. Craig, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, Tom. I appreciate it.
Well, last weekend, congratulations on another sweep as you took care of business out in Johnstown against the Tomahawks. We'll start with the first game, 3-1 win over on Friday. First period, both teams had their chances. Johnstown were first to capitalize, just 32 seconds left in the first period. You never want to give goals up. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but it's actually kind of true.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big part of the momentum as you go into the dressing room and kind of changes the temperature of the room and, kind of the game planning going into it, right? All of a sudden you're preparing to go in there and talking about an even game, and now you're chasing the game a bit. So definitely disappointed to not get it off to a better start. And it was so key to our first two wins down. It was the start of each game, and obviously to fall behind there in a tough place to play is definitely not ideal.
Brandon Abazal able to equalize in the second before Anthony Calafiore and Tommy Bannister put it away. So the response, exactly what you needed. Again, we've talked about it so many times about you guys go down 1-0, doesn't matter. You guys just stay on task.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say we're overconfident, but we're very comfortable in our skin and who and what we are. And we do have a lot of confidence in our ability to not be out of a game. I trust our players. I trust our team. We know what we're doing. We know when we're playing well that we're going to find offense, and it's just a matter of getting into the game there. And honestly, a lot of credit goes to not only their goaltender, but our goaltender as well. It was extremely well played by both guys, and each guy made a number of large, significant saves at different points throughout the game to keep the game that tight and in check. And it was fun to be a part of. It was a playoff type game, no doubt.
Well, game 2 on Saturday just had a little bit more intensity to it. 3 fights, a couple of fights to start things off. Was that a case of matching their intensity and their kind of desperation to win?
I think it was just a matter of matching passion. Both teams were hungry to get the win. It was obviously a big game. And again, the word used or cliche before, it's every game with us, it's a 4-point game. So you got so much to gain and lose. And I think we both play an honest, hard style of hockey, and both teams are going to be passionate. They're going to want to be protective of their teammates. And they want to make sure that they represent themselves the right way in terms of playing a right brand of hockey. So again, I thought it was a much different game, a much more wide open game, but nevertheless get started off with a lot of motion there. And it's something we had spoke about going into it. We knew Johnstown was going to be hungry and passionate about trying to get in the win column there. And we had to be prepared to quote unquote weather the storm, and we didn't do a good job of it. They jumped on us early, and I thought the fight was a big part of getting us engaged and back into the game.
China felt self trailing 3-0 midway point of the first period. Now coming back from 1-0 is one thing. How do you coax your team back into a game like that?
We don't talk about it being 3-0. We just talk about it being 1-0. There's no 3-point shot in this sport, so there's no use in talking like there is. We just talk about getting our game on track and focusing on the next one, and chipping away, as they say there. And immediately when they went up 3-0, we just talked about that. Like, there's nothing we can do to change what's gone on already, but we control the rest of this game and how it's going to be played out. Let's make sure we control the controllables, put our best foot forward, play our style of hockey, and then let the dust settle and see what happens. Chris Carroll gets us on the board right away, respond right away with a big goal. Again, just gives you a little bit of confidence and belief in what you're doing and what you're trying to do. And I thought from there, our game really got much better.
Yeah, the end didn't take long to respond. You mentioned it was quick, 16 seconds to be exact. By the time you're 5 minutes into the second period, you're up 4-3. That's a ridiculous turnaround, going from 3-0 to 4-3.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think you felt it. You felt it on our team. There was a sense of belief and trust in who and what we are. And I think that's a big credit to how far the group has come since early in September to where they are now. The stick-to-itiveness, belief, trust, faith in one another, the care, the general sense of care. I think that's all it was about. And it was just about, getting our game going and doing the Titan things we want to do on the ice. And once we did that, we believe success follows, whether that's in terms of positive shifts, goals, wins. The success follows, but the prerequisite has to be the hard work and the identity in terms of how we believe the game should be played. And I thought that was coming, and you saw that coming. And I think once that happens, the results are going to be there, right? And our guys believed in it. They trusted it. They continued to pursue the things that we want to achieve objectively and tactically on the ice, and they're rewarded for that.
Now, another late goal given up in the second, that ties the game, but then you fight back with Michael Young and Marcus Sang picking up the lead for good. you get the sweep, but again, as a coach, there's always coachable moments. How do you address the slow starts to a period, slow ends to a period? How do you kind of address that, whether it be in the locker room or even during a practice, or do you not address it?
No, it's definitely something we talk about as it's going on. I think in terms of the addressing, we do more so when we're watching the video, either in between periods or potentially the week after. And just what can we do differently? What could have we done differently? What are we going to do differently moving forward? And that's something we constantly address and work on and correct and try to improve. Sometimes it starts 200 feet from your net. Sometimes it starts 10 feet from your net. So there's different levels of breakdowns and poor plays and decisions that lead up to that subsequent negative shift and goals against. I think our assistant coaches do a remarkable job of identifying, explaining, and correcting that stuff. I think it's something they're really gifted with, and they take a lot of pride in breaking the game down for the players like that. I think our guys have done a good job of absorbing the information, learning from it, growing from it, and moving forward from it. They're young men. Mistakes are going to happen, and we acknowledge that in terms of how we prepare day to day. Like, the game's not going to be played perfectly; it never is.
Now, with his performance over the weekend, David Posma was named East Division Star of the Week. 3 assists on Friday, picked up a goal on Saturday. +4 on the weekend. On the year so far, he's already eclipsed his point total from last year, a whopping +20 after last year going to +9 last year. What have you seen from, besides his numbers, what have you seen from him that has changed his game from last year to this?
I think there's so much more than meets the eye with David. He's a remarkable young man. David is a heart and soul player who gives everything he can to our program on a day in and day out basis. I think he's hungry for success in terms of the team, and I think he trumps team overall. Obviously, with these guys, they want individual accolades and rewards for it, but I think David truly cares about winning. He's grown so much on the ice in the past 15, 16 months. And to see that come to fruition now, I mean, everyone saw it coming last year. If you watched him at any point from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and how much he elevated his game and how much his role elevated on our hockey team, and then obviously goes into and rolls into a college commitment over the summer and has come back with so much conviction and poise in his game. I think his ability to make plays with and without the puck, and how much he's matured as a player with and without the puck, have been evident since day one coming back to us this year. And I couldn't be more happy for him, because I think David is such a good teammate and he cares so much about our program. You love to see those kids be rewarded for that type of stuff. And David embodies how we want to go about our approach day to day and what we want our Titans. He's tough, he's skilled, he's smart, he cares a lot. And to have him have that success, I think, has been great for us. And I think he's also come a far way in terms of being a leader on a hockey team, and a great example for some young players who struggle at times. And I think also for some older guys just to stick to it in this, and the development and maturity in his game has been remarkable to be a part of and watch.
Now, one of the main goals of the New Jersey Titans and the North American Hockey League is getting guys to that next level. So this week it was announced Andrew Takacs, goaltender, was committed to Colgate. Having a great year so far. 15-4-1, 2.49 goals against, .916 save percentage. Certainly, let's take the time to congratulate Andrew. I mean, great pickup early in the year, and he's really settled in as a Titan, and he's going to be do wonderful for Colgate. Yeah,
Andrew has been exactly what the doctor ordered in terms of that transaction for our hockey club early this year. Goaltending is something that we felt not only that we wanted to improve, but we needed to improve. We just weren't good enough there. We weren't getting the play. And much similar to I told the Johnstown broadcasters in my pregame interview on Saturday, great goaltending is not a luxury in this league. It's a prerequisite. Without it, you have no chance. And Andrew's provided, I think you used the word stabilize, and that's exactly what he's done for us. And for our hockey team, I don't think it's coincidental that the growth of our club in terms of success has started since he's been here. He's really stabilized us back there and given us an identity and a backbone. Even on days where he hasn't played great, and he's a gifted goaltender, he's battled and found ways to win for us. And I think he brings a lot of different attributes to our team, from his vision on the ice, seeing it, helping initiate breakouts, his communication level. I think his passion, his swagger, his energy has rubbed off. And he's been excellent for us. I couldn't be more happy for Andrew. He really works hard. He's passionate about his craft. He wants to get better. I think he's been a great mentor to our younger goaltending partner, Ben Charette. I think he's helped him a lot. it's been fun to watch him go through this process, right? And he's a kid we were familiar with from his time with Maryland, and obviously he's had a couple of different stops in the league, and we were able to bring him in here and hope he was going to, solidify that position for us. And he's been everything we could have hoped for and more. And as you go through the process, I've said it many times, it's such a fulfilling part of the job to see the kids achieve those dreams. Colgate, in addition to being a Division I, very good hockey program, is also a tremendous academic step for Andrew. And to see him and his family have that benefit now, and it's something he's been passionate about. He wants to be challenged academically, and now he will. The coaching staff there is getting a terrific young man, a very talented goaltender, and a kid who I think will make them very proud both on and off the ice for many years to come.
Well, with the Christmas break coming up, these guys still all pretty relatively young. Have you found in any past instances where, that last weekend heading to the break, have you seen in the past, not saying this year's team necessarily, seen a kind of a dip, like, looking forward to the vacation instead of taking care of business?
Yeah, absolutely.
That, really?
I think you have to factor the human element in. And I think the minute you don't do that, you're not doing a good job as a coach. They're young. These kids our guys haven't been home essentially since middle of August. They had a couple of days off around the Thanksgiving break, but I even think if you look at us going into that break, I thought, and I've addressed it with the club, I did not think we were focused going into that. I thought that was some of the weakest point of hockey we've played throughout the year. So it's something we have been on the forefront of. Nevertheless, human element comes in. Today we did our Secret Santa. I played Christmas music during practice. I wore a Santa hat during practice. The captains had a great idea to have everyone wear Christmas attire, pajamas to the rink today. I think you have to factor in the human element. And maybe it's the new school of me, maybe it's me being soft, I don't know, but I think if you're not having fun, you're not going to be successful. And even today, I was really proud of the guys. Like I said, we played a little bit of Christmas music, start to practice, and then as we cranked into our work and our details, we shut the music off, but I thought the guys did a good job of locking in and doing their work. And then afterwards, again, able to celebrate each other and give each other some gifts and share some laughs and good times with one another. But now we're back to work, right? Tomorrow we'll travel. Friday we go back to work. Big weekend for us. We've addressed it. We've talked about it. I like that our team has stepped up to different challenges this year. And we've created those challenges internally about steps as a franchise that we need to take if we want to go where we all want to go. And we've laid those out in front of them, and I think they've responded really well to them. And that's kind of the challenge this weekend, is to remain focused, stay consistent, stay focused on the task at hand, right, of taking care of Friday night's game, then subsequently Saturday night's game, and separating them two as such. And they've done a really good job of that. And I don't think it's easy. I think a lot of times we overlook it and we take it for granted. Like, they're not pros. We're teaching them how to be pros. We're teaching them how to take those steps in the maturation of their game. And I think this group has done a really good job. I'm really proud of them in that they've been able to do it. And even at the times we've failed to do it, I think we've at least learned from it. And we'll see how that plays out this weekend for sure. Obviously, we know we have to be prepared for a really hungry, a very good, talented Maine roster. And they're going to be chomping at the bit to get us. So we'll see how it goes.
And and I got to definitely talk about this. It's a life lesson too. Again, we're talking about men who are 18 to 21, all this dealing with adversity, dealing with the distraction, all that. It's such a huge life lesson that, again, another part of the New Jersey Titans experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something I probably take a little bit too much. I don't want to say pride, but I probably care. I think there's so much more to what we're doing than just about the on ice hockey talent and ability. I think as a coach and a junior hockey coach, we have such a responsibility to raise good young men. Look at the world today.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a mess. And I think anytime any one of us could do something to help create a better future, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying what we teach is perfect. I think what we try to teach these guys every day is how to become good fathers, how to become good husbands, good family men, good representatives of their own families and their own communities and our community as well. And I don't take it lightly. I think that's part of it where I'm probably considered hard to play for, because it's way more to me than just slipping on the jersey and going to pass pucks and skate and do all that other fun stuff. It's about rounding it out. And I always say all the time, like, I've taken so much more, I don't want to say more pleasure or more pride, but I take just as much pleasure or pride in as the kid I coached, who is now a lawyer or working as a manager with Con Ed or doing something else, as I do my former players who are in the National Hockey League or the American Hockey League or playing Division I hockey. There's so much more to measure in success and a positive experience than goals, assists, wins, and scholarships. Like, I think it's about the people you cultivate and how you help change and mold their lives. No dissimilar than you and I have spoken about in the past, right? Like, wake up every day and make somebody else's life better.
Absolutely.
And I think that's part of the message that we try to live by every day. Are we perfect? No, but I think we do a good job of kind of keeping our eye on the prize.
That's, again, I can't echo that enough as far as the New Jersey Titans experience in my short time with the team. Speaking of the Christmas, New Year's break, I'm guessing a good number of guys get to go home. Is that? I mean, I'm not sure exactly how that all works out.
Yep, everybody will be free to return home following the game on Saturday. They don't have to report back to Jersey till January 2nd, I believe. I think we're back on the ice the 3rd, and we'll go over a short week of preparation prior to leading to Maryland. Again, for me, it's just been human element. These guys have been hard at it since August. I believe it's important for them to get away from it a little bit, miss the game. I think that's way too much overlooked in today's time. I know it's a longer break, and there's probably many coaches out there who disagree with our philosophy or ideas, and that's fine, to each their own. Just for me, I want my group to be hungry and focused at all times. These guys have done a remarkable job through the first 30 games of doing that. 2 more to go this upcoming weekend. Then I want them to go home and kind of relax a little bit, decompress mentally and physically, recoup their bodies, be ready to go. Because we come back, we got 28 huge hockey games on the second half of the year. And obviously, hopefully a pretty lengthy playoff run here that culminates with us doing what we want to do. But I think it's so important for them to just regroup a little bit physically, mentally. I say it all the time. I want them to be kids a little bit, go play video games till late at night, sleep in the morning, eat some shitty food. I think there's got to be a sense of realism there. And as a coach, we always keep pretty strict standards with the guys. And I don't want them going off and goofing off and getting in trouble and making poor decisions by any means. But I want them to go home and kind of just relax and decompress a little bit, so that when they come back, they're hungry and passionate and ready to go.
Well, again, there's no All-Star break, and there's no Olympic break, obviously, for the North American Hockey League. So, yeah, take advantage of this while you can. Looking forward to the Maine Nordiques. You mentioned them earlier. Great roster, but they haven't quite been able to put it together so far this year. They're going to be desperate. Again, they made a coaching change about a month ago, and you saw them relatively quickly after that coaching change. Do you expect anything all that different from them from times past, or basically you know what to expect in a way, but I'm certainly expecting more intensity from them?
Listen, I'm sure that Pinch, as he's gotten more acclimated to the group, has put in different wrinkles and put his own feels on the team in terms of what he believes works for them tactically in all 3 zones and all 3 situations. You try to do as much video work as you can to be prepared for it. You go into it, again, not to use the word again, but cliche, you kind of worry about what your own team's doing at the forefront. And if you believe and trust in who and what you are, the other team becomes somewhat obscure in that. Like, you got to concentrate on playing our style. But I think when you look at their roster, you mentioned it's deep, it's talented, it's fast. They like to play with the puck. They want to be in possession of it. So you have to be ready for their strengths and kind of hope that you could take some of that part away, some of those elements of their game away, and make them play towards their weaknesses or their plan B or plan C, as I often say. But I think for us, you mentioned it before, they're going to be hungry. First time we're going to Maine since last year's playoff ouster. So they're going to be hungry to get us back in their home rink. We have to travel the weekend before Christmas, different distractions that go into it with that. So it's something that we've focused in on as a staff this week and been heavy on the details regarding that. But again, I say if you're going to look at the standings in this league and if you're not prepared, you don't have a good week of practice, and you don't respect your opponent, you're going to get blown out. You're not going to just lose. You're going to get exposed. And that's what I've enjoyed so much about this league from day one to day now, the preparation and how honest it keeps you. You got to be ready to go, and you got to play your A game. There's other leagues in this country where when you get off the bus, you know if you're going to win or lose. It's just a matter of how much. This league, you got to make sure that you are prepared, locked in, ready to work, ready to sacrifice, and do everything you need to do to be successful if you just want to have a chance to win that hockey game, because it's 60 minutes of pure honesty. You can't cheat it. And I love it. I think I know it's made me a better coach, and I'm very confident to say it's made every player who's performed in this league, in this division, better for it, because they know what it takes day to day to be a successful hockey player. And I know what else that's kind of how we approach each weekend. Definitely this weekend. I have full appreciation for the Maine Nordiques and what their roster is, and the effort they're going to put forth.
As mentioned, 2-game set against the Maine Nordiques, Friday, Saturday, both at 7 p.m. You can catch both games on Hockey TV. Craig, thanks so much for taking the time. Have a great weekend. Good luck. And since this is the last time we'll see each other till the new year, have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And again, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And same to you and your family. And if I could, just for a minute, to Titans Nation, I just want to thank everyone for their support. Obviously, our community and our fans and our families mean a lot to us. And we know the hard work and the passion they put behind our program and the players and everything we try to do. So just want to wish everyone happy holidays, happy New Year, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully everyone can enjoy it with some family and friends, and appreciate some time with the boys. And hopefully we continue to get this world back to relatively normal in the future.
And again, great job, fans, with the Toys for Tots
Tremendous
teddy bear giveaway. We gave away a ton to the Toys for Tots after scoring that first goal on a couple of Saturdays ago. So great job to everybody, and hopefully we'll see everyone in the new year. And again, I'll echo the same thing. Merry Christmas, everyone, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of the New Jersey Titans Coaches Corner.